Just the one.
My history homework.
Your history homework, the one-on-one. I believe that's what is required, and that's what we did. We were probably 10 times more involved than the average parent. Spent 10 times more time and did a lot more personal help.
Did you attend parent-teacher conference?
Did we attend parent-teacher conference with the whole family? Opal brought the younger children everywhere, and that included parent-teacher conference. She felt that we needed to, or that the younger children needed to see what parent-teacher conference was all about, and we brought them along. We attended every parent-teacher conference that came up, no matter what, and we tended to have long discussions with the teachers. We often had teachers wonder why we were there, because the only people that showed up were people whose children are failing, and our children tended to be excellent students, except for where their disability was.
Did you go to IEP meetings?
Yes, I went to IEP meetings, every IEP meeting. I also took a class to help advocate for people at IEP meetings. I knew all of the laws. I knew who was supposed to be there. I knew how it was supposed to work, and it never worked the way it was supposed to, because the people who were supposed to be there, the principal, for instance, could never attend that many meetings. And I don't know why they required it, but yes, I attended every IEP meeting, and I knew what was going on.
How did the teachers react when you were at the meetings?
Because I knew what was required, and I had done a lot of studying on our disabilities. I tended to talk a lot with the teachers. I think they took it more serious. Sometimes I'm pretty sure they tried as hard as they could, but there often was not enough backing them up to get the help we needed. Because I knew what was going on, I think they worked with us well. Sometimes we would have to change teachers, because teachers obviously did not know how to handle what was required, and so we would request a different teacher on occasion. I think it went better because we were there, although I still don't think there's enough. There just isn't enough resources in public school to do what's required.
So what was the most frustrating IEP meeting?
Well, when my son Sam began to really improve, they felt that he no longer needed help, and so they closed his file. And I still don't know quite why they would do that. He was doing his work as well as anyone else, but that was because he was getting special help, and we had him with teachers that understood what was going on. And when they decided to close his file, that meant he no longer had help, and he no longer got the teaching. We could no longer pick the teachers, and it was like a drowning person finally getting up to the top of the pool and getting some deep breaths and saying, "Oh well, you can breathe now," and shoving them underneath again. It was extremely frustrating that they would close his file just when he was doing good. Dyslexia just doesn't go away. You're going to need that all of your life. And just because you've been able to overcome with help and do as good as a normal child, especially because he has a very high intelligence, it doesn't mean he doesn't need any help. He needs to get up to where his potential is, which is a gifted child. And even when he's performing at gifted level, he still is dyslexic. I have no idea why they could ever think that closing this file was of any value.
How has, now that your children are all adults, what has changed?
What has changed? I don't have, because they moved out and I'm not able to sit down and tutor them, the time that I spend one-on-one is greatly changed, which I miss a lot. I still worry about them. I still try to keep up with their progress and in their school and in their careers. Sam has pretty much decided that he's going to do a labor job for the rest of his life, which I'm rather discouraged with because he would be a good engineer. But he's tired of fighting the system, and he does not want to go to university. And I think he'll do extremely well with his career as a maintenance person. But it flusters me that he's not going to reach the potential that his IQ and his mechanical aptitude could bring him to. All of my children have ups and downs in their careers, and I'm hoping and praying that they'll be able to reach their potential and their aptitude.
What do you think could change in colleges to help your children do better? Do you have any ideas?
Attitude. I really think it all comes down to attitude. I think that if people were able to just understand what this disability is and the challenges and the potentials that people with dyslexia face, I don't think that you really need to change anything in the curriculum except perhaps the way you test it, the way you measure it. I believe that because of computer technology, we could make all of the negatives disappear within a few years. And I think that with the proper attitude, the realization that some things are just never going to happen and that we can compensate them through technology, the requirement that they do some of the basics that can be done with a computer, if they would realize that their prerequisites are no longer valid and that they can have people go on to more advanced areas to reach their potential rather than making a roadblock for them with prerequisites.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.